And so he said, it's probably a father ant who sacrificed for his family to get to the greener pastures. And I'm looking at this thinking to myself, I should not respond. I should not respond. But something in me was acting up and I needed to say something. So I responded, no, that's not how that goes. Males do not sacrifice for family in nature. And oh boy, y'all get ready to stay tuned because we're going to go into what happened and what was said. I'm yours truly, Diva Lyri. We're talking about women and things that women need to know about nature. Let's do this, ladies and gentlemen.
UNA University for me.
Yes, yes, yes.
UNA. Welcome to your paradise, the place you long for all your life. UNA University, manifesting all your dreams. With paradise, your land is home. Writing contracts on your own. Protect your loved ones every day. Knowledge goes a long, long way. UNA University for me. UNA.
Yeah. All right, so I'm yours truly, Diva Lyri. We're going to go through this thing about what women need to know about nature. What women need to know about nature. We're going to get into it today. And I want to present to you a video that I saw. And I should never have responded, but I did. And so we're going to go over what happened with that response. So I'm yours truly, Diva Lyri, here with the UNA, and the UNA University. All right, so today we're talking about women and things that you need to know about nature, really, and what's been hidden. So now, y'all know we got coming up next season, summer season, we're going to reload the UNA Matriarchs group. And in there, we talk a lot about some things that have been hidden from us and things we need to know about nature. We go over quantum physics, metaphysics. We go over all kind of esoteric information that's been hidden from us and things that we need to know about what's going on in society, what's going on with nature, and things that we just need to know because that's going to make things go a lot smoother. Okay, now I want to get on this topic of a video that I saw, and I'm going to play it for you here. And it sparked a lot of you. It sparked an emotion in me, okay? It's not even, what I'm going to talk about is not concerning this topic per se, but I'm going to show this video that I saw, and it really, it garners a lot of emotion from me and a lot of other people seeing it. But then there was a comment that I responded to that I tend not to respond to these things. I just don't. But I'll see them and I'll keep moving. But I did respond to this one. I want to go over the video, and then I'm gonna let you watch it, and then I'm going to tell you what the response was that I gave to this video. All right. So let me flip the rig. All right. I'm going to play it again. All right, so here is a video where you can see there is some ants, and there's all of these ants. They're holding each other up, trying to get across to the other side, and then this one gets left behind. And so now I was watching it, and it did, honestly, it made me a little bit sad. And of course, a lot of people, as I wanted to see the comments, and a lot of people, they felt themselves in this little ant. Now, and I was laughing because when I first saw it, I'm thinking, no, I'm not feeling some kind of way about an ant. And somebody's, there was all these comments. You had comments where somebody was like, well, it's just an ant. It doesn't have feelings. And now let's understand this. Even every water molecule that you drink has feelings, and it does respond to your energy. It responds to whatever energy you put out. So yeah, if water has a response to your energy, you better believe an ant has a response, and yes, it's got feelings. Now, it was the comment though that kicked it off that I I couldn't help but to respond to. I don't know why. My Tourette's was acting up with me when I saw this comment. It said it was probably a father ant who sacrificed for his family to get to the greener pastures. I don't know why I couldn't just walk away from that comment. My Tourette's was like, oh my God, I gotta. So I responded. All right, and my response was, males do not sacrifice in nature. All right, and what I say that for? Because it drew all kind of negative attention and all kind of comments on it. So I do need to speak about this because I want to go into women, what you need to know about nature, because what I'm going to speak about today really didn't have anything to do with the ants per se. However, I'm going to use this as a teachable moment so that we can deal with some of the things we need to know about nature. Now, I do need to preface this because a lot of times people want to assume or say that I'm bashing the male. I am not bashing the male. I love my brothers. I don't care what color they are, what ethnic background they are. I love you guys. But we need to understand nature and what the truth is about what's going on. So now let's respond to, let me respond to the statement that I made, because I did actually go back on the post and I wrote this out. All right. When I say that males do not sacrifice in nature for child and women or whatever, they don't. All right. And so let me speak about this because we're talking about ants in particular in this situation. With respect to ants, let's understand what you're looking at here so that we can be clear about what's going on in nature. Now, with ants, all right, the vast majority of the beings that are born are females, all right? There's a queen that's born, some queens that are born, they will have wings. They tend to be a little bit larger than the other ants. But most of your worker ants, as a matter of fact, the vast majority, if not all of your worker ants are females, all right? They are females. Males are born with wings, all right? So let's understand what's going on here. When you saw this particular clip of these ants getting across or trying to get across this opening, you're looking at female worker ants. Males are born with wings. If it was a male, then the male would have been able to fly across that, but he wouldn't have been flying across that so that he could find something for the family. He's just flying because he just out to get something for himself. All right, these ants are worker ants. They are females. All right, because there are more females that are born because they're the ones who do all of the work. So let me make that clear. This is not me dissing anybody. I'm telling you about nature. The females, most of the ones that are born are females because they are the ones that do all of the work. The males don't do any work. What they are born to do specifically is for offspring, to create offspring. That's it, to have sex. That's what they created for, to have sex. That's it. They got wings. When they have sex, they fly up in the air with the queen. And then they have sex in midair. And when they land, he dies and she rips her wings off and she continues to produce for her lifetime. That's what she does. That's how that game goes. All right. So let's understand this is not a diss. I'm speaking about what women need to understand about nature. For the simple fact that when we understand these things, then we can understand what's going on right now in this dimension. Why there's all this fighting, why there is a separation. She's got to find herself spiritually. She's got to know who she is. And so I'm using this as a teachable moment because I had to go back and really shut that portion of the whole comment section down. All of this stuff about what do you mean, men? All these people brought up black widow spiders, octopuses, and then it's like, okay, well, listen, I'm gonna go and quote some stuff for you to help you to understand that, yeah, it's the females, even in those situations that you brought up. Somebody said, well, you know, he says the black widow male, he sacrifices himself so that the children can feed off of him. Well, no, that's not the case. As a matter of fact, what is the spider, the male spider? Let's understand what he does in his whole lifespan. He's not sacrificing himself. All right, let's understand what's really going on, which is why the black widow eats him in the first place. Well, what happens is she puts up a web, all right, because she's trying to attract food. Here he comes and is knocking her web down during the whole time of her putting it up so that she can attract food. Why? Why is he doing that? Because he doesn't want no other males to get her scent. And the fact that she might be ready to procreate. He can't create a web, but what he's good at is knocking down what she created. This is not no diss. I'm just telling you what nature says. What nature does. What's done in nature. He can't create a web, but he's good at knocking hers down. He's living off of her web. Now, when it's time for her to procreate or him to stimulate whatever eggs that she's going to lay, he goes and sexes her. And you know what he does in his attempt to continuously control her is he breaks his manhood off within her. He breaks his manhood off within her such that no other male can come along and stimulate her eggs. In doing so, he makes himself unnecessary. What does that mean? He ain't got a penis. So he can't produce. He has no other purpose. So now, once he sexes her and he breaks himself off within her, well, what is he going to do? He's got no other purpose. So they want to say he commits suicide. They call him sacrificing himself. He commits suicide. So she eats him. He throws himself to her face, her mouth, such that she can eat him because he got no other purpose. This is not Diva making this up. Y'all go look it up because I swear I be doing research sometimes and I wish I could unsee some of the things that I see. But what I'm speaking on here is that women have to understand who they are and what their purpose is, and the fact that there's so many things going on in nature that leaves clues that because we're clueless about them, we don't understand what's going on in this realm. All right, let's talk about this human realm then. What's going on here? Because no, I'm not telling you go eat the brother. I'm not telling you to do that. Nothing like that. But I need you to understand what's going on and why there's this fighting, this separation, and some things that we deal with in history in our seminars that are not talked about in this society. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into this because I need to, first of all, make it clear about some things that we have been taught that are not natural. And I don't want to, I know you're going to be upset with me. I'm just telling you what the facts are. Again, you know, a lot of people will claim or proclaim that everything we've been taught is a lie. This whole society is backwards. But then they continue to hold on to the constructs of this society. So I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not trying to upset anybody, but if you don't want to know the truth, I suggest you change the channel, turn TV. Turn TV off because I'm going to tell you the truth and I'm going to give you the facts and then you can go and look them up for yourself. Man, woman, child. Man, woman, child is not natural. It's not. And I need you to understand when you hear certain sayings, these are clues that let you know it's not natural. You just don't understand what you're looking at. Why is there a separation going on right now? And that is because what we have been told is a lie. This is why you're not seeing in nature mama bear, papa bear, baby bear, because it's a lie. What am I talking about? All right. What you know is a patriarchal society. These are rules or laws that we have been taught and made to believe they're not natural. And as nature comes back into balance, you're still fighting and trying to hold on to something that's not even of nature. So when this guy says, oh, it was a father ant who sacrificed for the family, when males don't even do that in nature. There ain't no father ant. There's a queen, and that's it. Ain't no king. There's a queen. And then there's a whole bunch of worker ants who are female. The village. I want to go into what is marriage. Because when I talk about the village, everybody knows the saying, it takes a village to raise a child. Where did that come from? Because y'all ain't never seen a village. Y'all don't even know what the village is, but we're going to get into what the village is today. What is marriage, though? Let's get into this first. What is marriage and where did it come from? I don't even know why we don't even look at marriage and understand how disrespectful it is. Oh, a man giving his daughter away to another man. Where did that come from? A man giving his daughter. I'm not telling you not to get married. If you find that you can be with a male and y'all have a good relationship and you all work it out, that's great. That's wonderful. Stick and stay. But if there is constant rift in that relationship and you constantly off balance, and both y'all need to separate. Why would you stay in a toxic environment? I don't even understand it. I don't get it. But if that's where you feel like you need to be, I respect that. Let me go into what a marriage is. We're going to go through some legal definitions and some etymological information so that we can understand where this came from. This is a patriarchal construct. Patriarchal as in a male took over something to be in a position where he wasn't supposed to be in the first place. This ain't no diss. I'm telling you what has been done. Now, either you want to know the truth and you're ready to hear it, or you don't, and I'm going to respect that. But don't come to me with your feelings and your issues until you do your own research. I'm going to give you some stuff to research right now. All right. Marriage. Where did this come from? Again, this is a new construct. If y'all want to talk about the Bible, where the Bible says you're supposed to get married, marriage in the Bible was when you had sex. And why was that? Because once you had sex, till death do you part. When his sperm goes into her body, they are forever connected. Forever. His sperm does not just dry up and fall out. No, it's going to join with her cells and they become one. This is scientific fact that they don't tell you. Look it up. His sperm is going to join with your cells and you now know his past, present, and future all right there in your vessel. You ain't never going to be separate from him. He is with you until you die. That's a scientific fact. But let's talk about it from a legal standpoint and where this came into play. When you're talking about a marriage certificate, that is a document whereby the woman became his property, his legal property. Now, if this was all about between man, woman, and God, you don't need no certificate for that. You don't go through the state to get that, because the state is as much as the devil as you can possibly get. You don't go through the state if something is between you and your spouse and God, truly. All right. So you put the state in it, and what you have now is commerce. The what do we call the privilege, not the right, but you have the privilege to do commerce with that woman. He now has the privilege to do commerce with the woman who is his spouse. Let's understand what commerce is. Let's do some etymological breakdown of commerce. You look it up. commerce. When you look up commerce, you're going to find the word sex, S-E-X, sex. He now has the permission to do commerce or have sex with her across state lines because he or she is his property. She is his property, all right? The wife becomes property of the husband. What is a husband? Let's break it down now. I mean, get some scissors on this one. What is a husband? A husband is a manager of a farm animal. The husband is a manager of a farm animal. She becomes his farm animal. The contract of a marriage certificate is his right to do sex or have sex or commerce with his farm animal across state lines. She is his property. All right, we're understanding that. Husband, wife. Husband is the manager of the farm animal. The wife is a property or the farm animal to the husband. What does family mean? Once again, you look up these terms, the etymological terms of these words. Look it up. Etymology. Told you what commerce was. I told you what a husband was. Let's talk about a family. Look up the etymology of family. Family means slaves and servants. Family means slaves and servants. Look it up. I'm not making this up. I need you to understand this backwards societal rules and laws that have been put upon us. I'm not telling you not to get married. I'm not telling you to do whatever it is you feel like you need to do as far as you chasing after a man and trying to get him to do things. I'm letting you know what nature is and what nature has set forth, and the fact that we've been lied to, which is why we're going through all of this mess we're going through in the society today, because you're trying to get him to do something that's not even in his nature. I'm not saying he can't do it, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you got a man that does do these things, and I'm not saying that there are not those that are out there that do it, he's going against his nature to be in harmony with you as nature. Because it's not in his nature to be doing the things that he's been told that he's supposed to do in the society. It's not. But if he does it, oh, you got you a good one. You got you a good one. But if he doesn't do it, that's because it's not in his nature to do it. So when you're asking him to go into contract nowadays, because it's been flipped, now it's gone from him being or her being property of his to him being tied into something that's just unnatural for him. All right, so you got to understand, if it's a situation where he is doing all of that, you got a good one. Because it's not in his nature to do those things. All right, so now you got this whole situation where we've been lied to about what is supposed to be his role and what he's supposed to do. And then we got this whole saying about it takes a village to raise a child. Well, what happened to that? Because that's where we come from, especially melanated folks who are supposedly the original beings or the original humans on this planet. Melanated folks. We come from the matriarchy. What the woman? Well, what is the village? Her mother, her grandmother, her aunts, her cousins, her nieces, her best friends, her girlfriends. That's the village. The women. What happened to the village? See, y'all, the invent of this whole marriage thing, it took her away from her village. And in being taken away from her village, that child became subject to things that it should never have been subject to, because it lost all of its protection when she took it away from the village. What you talking about protection? I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I'm not saying that all males do this. I'm not saying that, this is a situation where every male is prone to this. However, when it comes to sexual molestation, there is almost half of the population, according to my research, meaning I can go into any room and I can go 1, 2. And 1 out of every 2 of those people has had some kind of inappropriate sexual contact with an adult before the age of 18. This is more than half of the population. And more than 80% of those people who went through this, it was done by somebody who's close to the family. And more than 85% of those people were males. How does this happen? Because the woman not doing what she's supposed to do to protect the child. She's the village. Grandmama is the village. That's who's supposed to be protecting the child. Not him. That wasn't even his job. That's not even a part of nature. Nowhere in nature does a female leave her child in the hands of a male. She will leave it by itself before she leaves it in the hand of a male. It doesn't happen. So what we're talking about here is the village. She's got to reconstruct the village. Let me ask you a question. When it comes to grandmama, how many people you know that had to be raised by their grandmother because the father split and then the mother split? That's the village. Even when the mother might not be ready or in her right mind, she has a village or had a village to fall back on. That was grandmama. That was great grandmama, auntie, cousins, best friends, nieces. That's where they came into play. The women were the village. And this is not a diss on males. I'm saying that the society has them doing things that is not even in their nature. And so when they do things that is in their nature, because naturally they are predatory beings. That Y chromosome, it is naturally a predatory being. And if you as the woman are not respecting his nature, then you're the problem, not him. It is the village's responsibility to take care of that child. The village. And she's got to get back to the village. Also, she has to start understanding who she is as a spiritual entity. She's got to back off some because nobody is trying to tell you who you are as a woman. A male cannot tell you who you are as a woman. You got to find yourself. You got to understand what your true powers are as a woman. You're not weak as a feminine being. You have all the power. You have all of the power. Again, women have been made to think that they are victims. And you're walking around here in your victim mind state, blaming him. He's not the issue. Women are. Women got to get our mind right because all the power is with you. And as soon as you get your power, your understanding of your power, then he's got to come into order with you. Nature is off balance because she is off balance. When she gets back her balance, he's got to come into order. I want to hear any comments y'all have. I'm going to answer them before I get out of here. And I'm not going to stay too long on this subject because I know it's upsetting to a lot of people. As I said, when you go and look into nature, nature is going to leave clues. It's going to tell you what's really going on with the woman. So you can understand all of these lies we've been told in this society, why they're backwards, and then where you need to go to find yourself. I get it. I know what I'm saying is upsetting. I know I'm turning all kind of people out because, man, the family is, and we got to get back to the okay. Man, woman, child, I'm going to say it again, it's unnatural. I said it. This has got nothing to do with sex or whatever. It has to do with what is nature, what is natural. Where does she need to be? She needs to get back to the village. When she puts, and it doesn't even have to be her own family. It doesn't have to be your own blood relatives. It could be whomever at the school. It could be whomever as your friend or whomever that you work with, and you decide to open up your own organization or group of women. That becomes your village. But you got to get back to the village. The village. And you got to find self. Because nobody, no man is going to tell you about who you are. This society is not going to tell you about what your powers are. That's like, again, trying to expect your oppressor to give you the powers you need to stand. That's not going to happen. You got to find out who you are. And if what I've said has upset you, then you need to check self. Maybe you just don't want to know the truth, because I've given you information to where you can go and research for yourself. If you don't want to know the truth, I respect that. I get it. I just want to be in my days. I just want to be stuck in the matrix. I just want to continue to complain. I get it. I get it. I respect that. But for those of y'all who want truth, you want to know who you are, and you want to stop being upset about him and what you think he's supposed to do. He's supposed to do this. What you supposed to do? Because when you do what you're supposed to do, he don't have a choice but to fall in line. Don't sit around and feel like you're a victim. You're not. You're not. We have all the power, and as soon as we start taking it back, things are going to change. Diva Lyri, I'm out. Peace.
Your paradise, a place you long for all your life.